Right, where are we? RK Leisure just purchased this little gem, this thing behind me. Gorgeous little lake, Jones's Pit Lake and Buzzard. What used to be Cemex, I fished it over 20 years ago. I came here, and then there wasn't a tree on the place. It was like a little, just a little bowl really. But look how it's matured. And that's it, so we've got a couple of days. Well, you've never been here.
I've never been here, no, it's lovely. It's all, they've done a load of work, all the swims, as you can see, are all named, sleepers, gravel. You're not fishing in mud or anything like that. There's a big track all the way around. You can drive to your swims, drop your kit off, move your van into the car park. It's totally secure, all fenced. It's lovely. There's loads of islands, isn't there?
Well, that's it. Well,
deep bits.
It's full of, there's a lot of carp in here, and we've been told there's about 130 carp, and unfortunately for us, because we're carp anglers, there's about 100 cats. And, because we're forgetting, the little lake over the back there.
Yeah, mate, yeah, nice little place that.
3 acres. It's got a, well, just talking to Stuart yesterday, the bailiff, he said there's about 65 carp in it, and a good hand for the cats, so. I think I'm going with you. If this ain't producing, you know, you've got your options, then ain't you? You can always put a bit of bait in the edge there and have a mooch about. But
we are going to catch cats.
Well, I think the nights will bring cats, and the days we're going to have to mooch around. And
well, we spoke to a couple of guys, didn't we? And they seem to put their cat rods out at night and then the carp rods out in the day.
Go drifting
so that tells you when you're going to catch the cats. It's a very unsociable island.
There's lots of little nooks and crannies you can get into, put a bit of bait in, so hopefully you know, get a few.
We're going to try and get a couple of spots going, aren't we?
Yeah.
Beside the two of us, we've got a young hotshot, Joe Bryers, who is apparently very talented behind a set of carbons. Caught a lot of fish from here, a lot of fish from Raisby, which is another one of RK's venues, and we'll see how he tackles the water, because he's quite a local lad and he's done a lot of fishing on here. So yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how we get on with little Joe then.
So stock-wise, Joe, what are we looking at?
You're looking about 130 carp, sort of say 60 of them, sort of like between 10 and 15 pound, really nice scaly ones. And then you've probably got about 30 quite plain looking, sort of 20 pound to 30 pound. There's a lot in there. They tend to come out quite a lot of the fish between 22, 25 pound.
Yeah.
And you've got about 15 to 20 like originals that are stocked in here in about the 60s. And they're really nice fish, like the commons and a few mirrors. They're really nice.
So a good selection.
Yeah, there's a lot to go at. Like one fish will be completely different to another that you catch.
Yeah, yeah. And again, cats, as much as they're not my thing, I appreciate some people, obviously a lot of people come here to fish for the cats, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of cats in here. About 100 cats, up to about just over 70 pound. There's a lot of 60s and 50s, and yeah, obviously really good fights.
So yeah, really sort of, what about, I presume there's not many silvers and stuff, because I presume the cats will eat them, won't they?
Well, no, you'd be surprised actually. There's a lot of silverfish in there, and good sized ones as well, you know.
Right.
You've got roach up to about £3, I think it's the biggest, £3.10 I think. Perch again, up to about just over £3. I've had them to just over 3.
Well, it looks lovely now, the range stops, hasn't it? So,
yeah, it's gone flat calm as well, hasn't it?
All right then, mate, well I'll go and flick them out.
Yeah, all right, mate.
And then we'll hopefully have something to report.
So I got the right hand side of the anthill, because Ian picked what is meant to be the best side on the left, okay? So, northerner. What I've got is an out of bounds bank down the right hand side, and there's a swim opposite me that very rarely gets fished, I'm told. So I've lobbed the lead along this out of bounds bank under the oak tree. It's about 10 foot of water. Sneak round there, and you can see it's sort of sandy, little bits of silkweed in there. It's quite barren. I put a bucket of Emton pellet on that with a Gratakia 12mm code reds. That's going to be that one. Little flexible hinge rig on that later. Out in the open water, found very little of anything. I'm guessing it's about 15, 16 foot of water. Again, really barren at this end, but we're in this double peg for a reason. Make the most of what's in front of you. I found a little bumpy area, and it turns out it's 13 wraps on the yardsticks. Out, dropped a lead. I'm going to drop a lead as near as damn it to that. You know, you're worrying about all this drop on that. We'll go near that. I'll put 2k of 18mm code reds on that. Expect cats on that, I'm led to believe, in the night, which would be lovely. And we'll see how it unravels, just to see how we roll along with it.
Okay, I got the left-hand side of the swim, naturally, because Ian got here 16 days before me and secured the best half. So, nothing changes really. And it's quite barren out here. Ian's found a tiny bit of gravel, which is obviously something to fed on that. It's really barren all out, and this is like the deeper end. It's sort of 14, 15 foot. And all I've picked is a far horizon marker, which is 4 poplars on the tree. So obviously at night I can get the rig straight back on the spot, with sort of no messing about really, straight down the sticks. I skimmed the lead through, and it was really sort of smooth silt, not deep, and there was no difference whether it was 80 yards, I put it out to about 100 yards, and then came back, so I just settled on a very comfortable sort of range to get the baits out with the stick. 2 rods on the same area, there was no point in my opinion on a barren area like that spreading your rods about, because I'm trying to create the feature in the middle of nowhere with bait. Scattering the baits over probably a 40-yard arc, so that they're coming in, they're picking one up, moving, picking one up, moving, they pick your rig up and nailed. That's the theory behind it. I've caught a lot of fish in that situation before, and I'm very comfortable fishing open water. I like the fish to be able to come at me from every sort of angle, you know, from every sort of compass angle.
Got to keep looking. Sneaked down here earlier, a little snaggy channel. It's the shallower end of the lake. Little island here with bushes all over it, and there was a few fish milling around. There's a couple of little clearings. It's quite weedy and choddy on the bottom, but there's a couple of little raised clearings. I'm guessing it's where people already put the bait, but I'm going to stick some pellet. Mixed up some pellet in them, a few tigers in it, a few handfuls of our 12mm code red boilies. I'm going to put them on these 2 raised areas and just keep checking it periodically. So maybe some time of day we might get a chance of stalking one out. So we'll have a little handful of boilies on each clear area and see which one they'd rather visit. Although we've got a Canadian goose here, it is just out of neck depth. We're going to nick a bit on the way down, but overall we're safe. I've just walked down here and it's all clouded up, whereas half hour ago it was really crystal clear. And as I'm standing looking, there's a fish, I'm guessing it's 30 to 34 pound, that sort of size, a big one, that's just come wobbling out of the cloud. So I've done my Forrest Gump impression, run back there, grabbed the rod, a net, some little PVO bags in my pocket. Do you know what? It doesn't mean to say we're going to catch him, but you've got more chance of catching him there than you have sitting up there behind buzzers, so there's lessons there as well. So, and it's exciting. I'm going to nip down here now and give it as long as it takes until we scare them off or we catch one. So let's get in place. As I was there with the rod, he's come in and he's dug around. There's another one with him now. Dug around one certain little bit. So I've waited for him to drift off. I've managed to place the rig. Bang, and there's like a little triangle between 3 or 4 twigs down there. Got it right on what we call a dinner plate. It's down with a little bag of pellet. Okay, so we've got a tiny little feeding area now, hopefully. Now we need something to happen. Patience takes over.
That explains why I don't really go stalking that much. Our beautifully feathered friend there has now got his snout all over my spot and eating the boilies that the carp were eating earlier. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but if I was a fish and a big fat white net comes pounding through the water, I would be as far away from that big fat white neck as humanly possible. Look at him, right on the spot.
Right, welcome back. Well, whilst you lot have been around there with Ting Tong messing about with birds, and it is the feathered variety, okay? Managed to get a bite. I was sitting patiently waiting. I was actually nodding off in all fairness. The rod's been in the water a couple of hours, and we've got a nice big fish. So Paul here's going to help us with the rod. We'll get her on there, weigh her up, do a little bit of posy, but patience has paid off in this respect. We've stuck with it, and we've got a really nice big mirror carp. It's well over 30 pounds, so 32 pounds, what a lovely carp. Now usually, and I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting, you know, you don't expect anything of this size. A lot of the fish I've been seeing, I did see a couple of big ones here yesterday, and it may even be that this was one of them. But if I'm honest with you, I saw him in there yesterday actually. That's the one we were talking about. Paul, could you get us some water on that please, mate? The one I was watching yesterday, it had a grey mark on here, like a bit of mucus. That's your fish, they are. So we weren't far off, we reckon between 30 and 34, and they don't come any middle ground on that. But usually down here, I was expecting to get maybe 1 or 2 of your little doubles. And look at that, 32 pounds, that is absolutely wonderful, isn't it? And I did say it looked like a big 20, but there you go, bigger than a big 20. 32 pounds, it's lovely, Jones's Pit, mirror carp, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more pleased than with that result. First night on Jones's Pit, and we've been woken up by these little critters. Not everyone's cup of tea, but nevertheless, they're part of the lake. So we'd rather have had a few carp, but there you go. Locally, the lake's quite famous for these. And when I fished it years ago, they were all little kittens. Now, we've got a 45 and I don't know, a 35 pounder. So they're not nowhere near the biggest in the lake. But what's your thoughts on them, Ian?
The plan is going to be, he's going to hold his, because he's obviously, as always, bigger than mine. And I do know this normally sit and poo on you. So I am not touching mine.
Can I put your coat on for this?
No.
You think?
Why don't you pick mine up? Mine's been really well behaved.
No, I should do, shouldn't I, really? We'll attempt it, and if it goes wrong.
There's mine, look, it's much easier just to put the mat at the camera. But then you don't get coming out, it's been...
Oh my God, look at that! What, legs open? That's why we don't
Don't
like
put it near me!
catching cats. There you go. There's your catfish.
Look at its mouth.
Look at that. Now I ain't putting that out there. The gear I've put out there is red. What is that? 2 ton of
I think it's just been 6 for each bottom.
oh dear. Had a cheeky lay in this morning. I've had nothing in the night. I just roared off. Fell off the bed, as you can see. And I'm sure it's a cat, it's fighting really, really hard. It's fighting. God knows how many times harder than any carp I've ever had. So if you like a bit of sport, and you're not really worried whether it's carp or cats, this has got to be your place. Jones's Pit. Come on. I'm guessing that's about 25 pounds of muscle.
They are incredible things. I'm looking in his mouth now and it's just, they are prehistoric.
Oh my God, you can see where Steven Spielberg gets all his ideas from the Wales catfish. There you are. We've got a fair bit of time yet. Hello, all right then. Here we go. Don't be sick of me. Don't be sick of me like the one yesterday. Well, there you go. For me and Tong, this is the end of our 48 hours at Jones's Pit. Thank you very much, RK Leisure. Been a different couple of days, mate, hasn't it?
Yeah, very enjoyable. And we met Joe.
We've met Joe.
We're going to corrupt Joe.
He rather resembles, what's his name, Tom Cruise from Top Gun. Tell me he doesn't. That big hair. There you go. So we've had a few cats anyway. Ian's lost a carp this morning. We was hanging on to get another carp for the camera, but he fluffed that up. I had a carp. Joe's still trying, bless him. So
we're definitely going to come back in the winter when the cats are asleep.
yeah.
Because you had quite a few in the winter, didn't you?
Yeah, I had about 30 from November.
Yeah, all right, big head. Cheers.
How cool is that?
No, but we're definitely going to
zip it up, Joe.
Enough, Joe. That's our show.
Well, I think all we've managed to do is feed the cats. We've done a bit of stalking about, like fed the cats overnight, and that's it really. They're just a bit bigger.
It's a really nice place to be. It's not busy. Swims are nice. Very accessible.
Great lake. Lots of different options for styles of angling. We're going to leave Joe to it. See if he can bag one this afternoon. But thank you very much.